At my school, I have a couple jobs, but one of them is as a desk services assistant. Okay. Now, my job as a desk services assistant is to sit at the front desk of freshman dorms and let people in when they show their IDs. That way, no one gets into the building who shouldn't be in there. All right. Now, at this front desk, I'm in a position where anyone can see what I'm watching on my laptop. Now, it's because of that that I usually don't watch anime, because there's usually some type of fan service or something in them, and I'm not talking about like all I watch is ecchi. I'm talking about something like Black Bullet where there's a lolly fan service in there, something like No Game No Life when there are panty shots of 11-year-old girls. Alright, I can't watch stuff like that because that stuff will show up on my laptop and people will walk by and see that. So when I watch anime at my job, I usually try to make it something that's devoid of fan service entirely. Like, for the most part, Naruto or Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is pretty much one of those series where I can watch it no matter what and not be worried about someone walking by. So imagine how surprised I was when I watched this episode tonight. Safe to say, I had to scroll down for most of the episode and listen and not watch. And even if I wasn't at my job, I still probably would have scrolled down and listened rather than watching. Alright? The first half of this episode, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Okay? By the way, this is Blacklist to the Abyss. This is my review for Hunter x Hunter episode 128. Alright? And most of this episode was like Fujoshi bait. Except Poof was like the only guy in it. The rest were like monsters. So this is like some weird yaoi fan service here. Like I don't even know how I don't even know what to say. I really don't. I really don't. I kind of just want to get past that and get to the rest of the episode. Um, there was a scene here with Mereum. He tells Poof and Yuppie what his name is and that he wants them to call him by his name. The narrator at one point said that Poof and Yuppie had become queens. That's interesting. And by having Mereum eat them, he ends up getting fully healed and he even gets stronger. He has some purple on him now. And Poof and Yuppie end up becoming permanent chibis. Okay, they're just like super small now. Um, and I'm assuming it's going to stay that way, with the exception of Poof and his clone that's off doing things. All right. Now, one of the things that gets mentioned in this episode is that the way they are now, Poof and Yuppie can share thoughts with Mereum, and it's because of that that they learn that he's confused and that his memory is hazy. All right. Now he remembers that Poof and Yuppie are members of his royal guard, but he doesn't remember how it is that they got to be royal guard. He doesn't remember when it is they started serving him. There's some things he remembers, and then there are some things that he doesn't. Okay? And Poof, he decides he wants to take advantage of that situation and kill Komugi before Mereum gets a chance to see her and then remember her. Okay? So he, rather than having his clone go to where Mereum is, he decides to have it, boom, stop, about face, go back to the palace and kill Komugi. Alright? However, Mereum states that the answer he is seeking lies in the palace. Alright? Which, that's probably Komugi. So, he wants to go back there. And Poof is thinking, okay, well, it's probably going to take him 20 minutes to get back there, so I have some time to go and kill her. However, Mereum ends up growing wings and then flying back. Okay? Which still is going to take him like 15 minutes now, but which is still a decent amount of time in Hunter x Hunter. What, like the entire palace was destroyed in like 30 seconds. Like 20 episodes were like a minute and a half. Like 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes. That's gonna last until like next year. Okay, so that's still plenty of time, but still it's 5 minutes less. So hey, um, but yeah. So Mereum's heading back there. Poof, he arrives back at the palace, but he doesn't see Komugi or Pito there, and instead he ends up getting hit by some invisible thing which ends up being the combo of Knuckle and Mereum. Uh, and he ends up getting APR attached to him, which ends up going not to the clone but to the real Poof that's over with Yuppie and Mereum. So yeah, he still has no clue what's going on. I'm assuming Yuppie will explain at some point that, oh, that's no, well, I'm not sure if he actually knows Knuckles' name, but he'll explain, no, that's one of the humans. He has that ability. He'll probably explain that to him at some point. But yeah. So right now, Poof's got that, and yeah, they're gonna fight, I guess. The reason why Knuckle and Mereum and them they were able to prepare for Poof's arrival at the palace was because of Palm's ability, and she had technically seen him before him and Pito transformed her. So yeah, and because of her ability, and she's able to kind of just see what Poof is doing and what's going on around him. She is also able to see Mereum. He's alive and well, and he's kicking and everything, and he's coming towards the palace. So she realizes that and mentions it. So yeah, that's that. That's that. That's pretty much all there is to this episode. In the preview, we saw Poof making this really awesome looking face. I will probably end up using that for my thumbnail next week, unless there's an even better one. But that was a pretty good thumbnail. So that's probably what I'm going to end up using next week. But who knows? Maybe I'll see something better. But that's that. Poof has that face, and Kahlua ended up activating Godspeed. So that's something. He activated Godspeed with Komugi on his back. So stuff will happen next week. Stuff will happen. As for this episode, like you can tell, this review, like I'm not even really into it because the first half of the episode just took me out of it. I'm done. I'm done. All right, I'm done. I don't even know. I'm done. All right, I'll give the episode a 6 out of 10 because now I'll give it a 5.5 because listen, the last parts were good in terms of like what happened. Poof's plan to take care of Komugi, get rid of her. He goes back to the palace. Knuckle and Mereum are ready for him. Thanks to Palm, she learns that that Mereum's alive. That stuff was good. But the first half was just so like like I might legitimately prefer to watch Boku no Pico than rewatch the first half of this. Actually, no, I take that back. I'd rather not watch Boku no Pico. I haven't watched it, and I want to keep it that way. So no, I take that back. I would rather watch the first half of this episode than Boku no Pico. But still, you get the point. All right, yeah, that's it, you guys. 5.5 out of 10. All right. Yeah. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.